What's going on, Fanout Crew? Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to the channel. As soon as I went live, my connection went went down. I don't know what happened.
Mine too.
Uh,
Mine too. That was really
yeah,
weird. I don't know what the hell
yeah. I
happened.
think it was. I think it was probably the website itself because I didn't actually lose internet. Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Colby Sullivan. I'm your host. I'm joined by this guy over here, Jonathan Agricola. I've ran out of things to say. I can't do it anymore.
It's fine. It's fine. There isn't a whole lot to say, Colby. So
Yeah.
it does not surprise me at all that you've run out of things to say.
There's only so many things that can describe you, you know.
That's
Plus,
right.
I'm not the guy to come up with the words to do it. So, what's been going on, man? How's life back in the States?
Life back in the States is still really good. I just get back from a little impromptu road trip, which was a lot of fun. It
Where
was,
was that?
oh my God. Okay, so check this shit, all right. Had an old army buddy. He was driving from Melbourne back to Peoria, Illinois. He wanted to stop by and
Australia?
say
That's a long way. Wow.
Melbourne, Florida. Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, that makes more
very,
sense.
very far away. Yes. So he drove through Pensacola just to say hey, and he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I was like, "Nothing much, man. What's up?" It's like, so he crashed, right? You know, and we didn't do a whole lot. That was last Friday. We didn't do a whole lot. We drank a lot as soon as he showed up, and we were in bed by 7:30. So of course he wakes up the next morning. He's like, "Hey, man, I gotta get back on the road," and I'm like, "I miss you already." And then he said something, "Man, I wish you'd go with me. You would just have to get a flight back." And I looked up a flight back.
Yeah, you're like,
So
screw it, let's go.
yeah, I got a one-way ticket back from Peoria back to Pensacola. And it was just a lot of fun, man. I highly recommend anybody that has that buddy that's just like, "Hey, I'm going to go from point A to point B." Just jump in the car with them and go. It's a lot of damn fun.
Spontaneity, man.
Yeah. So it was a blast. Ryan, if you're listening, which I know you are, I love you.
Well, that's cool. I'm still dealing with this stupid contractor stuff at my house. Our bathroom is almost done, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we'll actually have 2 functioning bathrooms. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, man, what's you got anything you want to talk about?
No. The only thing I really want to talk about is where do you get off getting third place in a pinball tournament?
Yeah, dude, like it was weird. I've only been competitive pinball player for about 5 or 6 months now.
Oh.
And it's really cool. We had 29 people, I think, at this tournament at a friend's house where, you know, the tournament is held and everything. And all the machines are at his house. He's got like 20 something machines. And I want to say we had 29 people. And it was 3 strikes and you're out style. So, you know, it's sort of weighted against the handicap. He puts the good players against each other first so they can kind of, you know, thin the herd a little bit.
Yeah.
I got really lucky and just had some really favorable matchups on games that I'm really good at, and I avoided the games that I'm really bad at. I just got lucky, and I just kept kind of hanging in there, staying under the radar, and all of a sudden I'm in the top 3 or top 4, and I get pitted against the best guy there, and he hasn't lost a single time, and I'd only lost once, and I was like, well, it's been fun, you know, but I still had a loss to give, you know. So
Yeah.
we played, you know, he won, and it was cool. But you know, yeah, I finished third. I $10 buy-in, and I won $40. So
Nice.
I feel happy about that. We paid out the top 6 players, and yeah, it was cool.
Cool.
We sometimes we play teams. Sometimes we play this thing called pin golf, where
Okay.
they give you a like they give you a game, and then they say you have to do X on this game, and however many balls it takes you to get to that objective, that's your score, right? They say score 20,000 points, 20 million points on this, or, you know, on Ghostbusters, you got to collect X number of ghosts, right?
Okay.
However many balls it takes you to do that, that's your score. Lower score wins because it's golf. That I actually really like that. That's cool because I'm not your guy if it's straight up points because I just don't have the, you know, crazy saves and nudging ability yet that these guys have. But like,
Okay.
give me an objective and I can like focus on that. I can usually do it pretty easily. So yeah, I had a great time.
What was the standout machine for you while you were there?
Oh my god, dude. It's so hard to answer because
The two standout machines.
Well, it's hard. Period.
Three.
There's so many machines there that have amazing themes, right?
Yeah.
But aren't necessarily great machines. Like Guns N' Roses for me is a dream like theme for a pin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the machine itself is basically like a beautiful idiot. Like it's gorgeous to look at, and it's just not very fun to play. Personally, I don't like the machine. Right?
Yeah.
It almost has too much going on. He did get a Elvira House of Horrors, which is hilarious. It's so good, dude. So good. The purpose of the game is that all of these like B-level movie villains are like trapped in Elvira's house, and you have to kind of make your way through the house to help them escape and stuff. And at one point you have to like it's kind of funny, like there's this combination lock that you have to like unlock, obviously. And the combination is, remember, this is Elvira, is 36 24 36.
Nice.
So yeah, little innuendo there. And it's just great. That game was probably my favorite. The ironic thing is I actually didn't get to play it for the tournament. I practiced the shit out of it and didn't play it in the tournament. It didn't come up for me. And then the game next to it, RoboCop, I didn't even see because I was just like blinded by, Elvira House of Horrors. And of course I get pitted against one of the best players in RoboCop, and I ended up winning that game. I had a hell of a second ball. Like I just like I like blacked out and like I don't even know what happened, and I was just like it was great. It was a good time.
All right, that's Colby Sullivan's take on his two favorite machines, I guess.
Yeah. He's got some great ones, man. I mean, like The Who has a machine called Tommy Pinball Wizard, based on their song. And it's got other songs in there and stuff. And that game is just amazing. It's so fun. It's made by the same company that made my Royal Rumble machine. But I might be getting a second one here soon. So
good.
We'll see how that goes. I'm waiting on some shipping info. But yeah, it's a fun hobby, man, to get into. So speaking of hobbies, did you hear about these TV shows?
Oh my goodness, I love talking about TV shows as a hobby.
So, dude, have you seen the just like ridiculous slate that is coming up in August and September? Like, we live in like a golden age of television, dude. It's ridiculous.
Was that the same picture you used as our thumbnail by chance, Colby?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
In that case, yes, I have seen some of this lineup.
So, we talk a lot about the MCU, right?
Yeah.
We spent a lot of the last stream talking about it and all this stuff. I totally forgot that they were making a show called I Am Groot. I knew they were making She-Hulk. I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
We'll get to that in a second. So what do you know about this I Am Groot show?
It looks like it's just a couple of episodes of Groot being Groot, particularly Baby Groot being Baby Groot. That's the only thing I've seen. I don't know. That's the only thing I remember from the trailer. I know you're gonna you're gonna cut me off and start saying, "Oh no, John, it's about adult Groot and adolescent Groot and Baby Groot. It's all the Groots." But I don't know.
I actually have no idea. I watched the trailer and I don't know if it like. I'm not sure how you could make a full length series just based on that. Like maybe it's a series of shorts. Like I have no idea. It looks to be CGI. I know a lot of people have said it's animated, and when I hear the word animated, I think classic like cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Like Transformers, right?
Yeah.
This appears to be CGI, which I mean obviously is a form of animation, but I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. So we'll see. I'll watch anything Disney Plus throws at me. But yeah. So
I see you, Bling Gnome. Bling Gnome says it's the MCU version of Baby Yoda. You're absolutely correct. Actually, or would Baby Yoda be the Star Wars version of Groot?
Technically, Baby Groot came out first, but
yeah,
I'm down with it. Did you see you watch Pitch Meeting, right? You've seen some of them pitch meetings?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen the one with the Mandalorian where they do the pitch meeting for that?
It's going to sell a lot of them. Dude, I don't know.
he, he mentions Baby Yoda, and the dude's like, a Baby Yoda, and his eyes literally turn into green dollar signs. And for the next like 6 minutes of the pitch meeting, the guy's like going to the doctor and like getting checked out and everything. And the doctor's like, so wait, your eyes were green? He's like, no. Whoa, sorry. He's like, no, they weren't green. They were money signs, actual money symbols. It's dude, if you have not seen that one, check that out. I hit this so much. I gotta stop using my hands. It's just
no, use it. I like it. I like you going all.
I can't do it, dude. Can't
epileptic
do it.
on me.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I Am Groot. We will check it out. I'm not sure. I have no idea what it's gonna be about, man.
Me neither. I have no idea. There's probably a synopsis somewhere on the internet, and I'm not looking for it.
Yeah. Look at the logo though. It's cute, man. It's like a little like it's got his little like tendrils and stuff going through the logo. So
it feels like a it's supposed to play with our inner child. It's supposed to be a kid show. It feels like to me anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be I have no idea if it's full length or anything, but I feel like it would work better as like a series of shorts where he's just like
I think
in a situation and then like he does stuff,
Yeah.
Kind of like how they used him in Guardians 2, right? I mean, like he talks, but obviously he doesn't. He only says 3 or 4 words, and we'll see how it goes. So that's August 10th, which is a week and a half from now.
Not even, next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday.
And then on the 17th, the week after that, we have She-Hulk coming up.
Good.
They've they've renamed, not renamed it, but originally they were just branding it as She-Hulk. Now they've actually like called it like She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which I think is cool. I'm totally down for this. What are you looking forward to with this show,
dude? I think we spoke a little bit about it last week. This I'm more excited about this show than I was for Miss Marvel. I'm more excited about this show than I was for actually probably like I was more excited for this than WandaVision. I don't know, man. I just think it has the potential. Like, this is something I've wanted. I've wanted a She-Hulk like law drama. You know what I'm saying? And because it doesn't have to this is a show that doesn't have to have an overarching thing in the MCU. This could just seriously be its own show about Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, putting bad guys behind bars,
like a case of the week type of thing.
Yeah, totally. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then because they could use cameos on cameos, like Happy Hogan shows up with a complaint or something. Everybody. There is so much they could do with just a little fun show like this. Now, do I think it's going to have an over arc into the MCU? Absolutely. She-Hulk will show up on some form of Avengers team, 100%. How about you, Colby? Are you ready to see Jennifer Walters' female Hulk smash?
Yeah. We've talked a little bit about it a couple times. I mean, I know a lot of people are really like vocal about the CGI being crappy and all that stuff, and that that kind of stuff doesn't bother me anymore. I sat through Mortal Kombat Annihilation, so the whole idea of a procedural legal comedy that takes place within the context of the MCU that is 30 minutes and a character breaks the fourth wall, like, sign me up. I like that they're incorporating Hulk. I like the fact that Daredevil is going to be in this. I don't anticipate us seeing a lot of him in this. Maybe he's in it a lot. I don't know. He is a really good lawyer, so we'll see. But I'm super excited, man. I anytime I see an MCU thing, I want it to be out like already, like as soon as I see the trailer.
The you get that short timer syndrome when you get within 2 weeks. You're like, just give it to me already. Why do we have to wait this extra 2 weeks? To what people are like, if anybody's knocking CGI, I want everybody to like, one of my favorite movies in the MCU right now is Captain America Civil War. All of Spider-Man, 90% of the time we see Spider-Man, that is CGI.
Yep. And the effect they do on his eyes with his costume, that's 100% CGI and all that stuff. Yeah. And it looks great.
And Exactly, and the reason it looks great, like if you look at the when he jumps in and he snatches Cap's shield, right? To me, that still screams like I've seen the movie 100 times, and that one scene he looks like a cartoon. But as you watch going forward, you your eyes become accustomed to it, and it makes more sense that way. You don't try to refute the fact that that's a CGI costume anymore. I think it's good. And the problem is the She-Hulk trailer. They're getting the actress's, I forget her name. You get the actress's face, and then they cut to She-Hulk, and it's jarring. And so, oh, the CGI is terrible, or they need to do better. It's like we haven't got like a 5-minute scene where we're looking at She-Hulk. We don't have that yet. And I guarantee you, once we actually have that, like, and we see her interacting with other people on set, we see her moving, interacting with objects. That's when your brain is going to be like, oh, okay, this is nice. I feel it. So yeah, anybody who's knocking She-Hulk for the CGI, just wait. So we're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Plus, as a as a viewer, I don't want to see someone in green makeup and a wig that, like the Fantastic Four, movies that came out in the early aughts. I mean, a lot of the CGI is dated and stuff, but I mean, like, Thing looks ridiculous in those movies. I mean, he's just wearing a foam suit. I mean, it just looks horrible. And I don't think the CGI looks that bad. Plus, they have definitely improved it. There are, if you go back and watch that original trailer and then watch the one that, came out recently, it's night and day different. I mean, there's all different stuff in the news about the MCU working their visual effects artists super hard and all that stuff. And I don't want to get into that because I'm not in that industry and I don't know. But I think people need to lay off, talking smack about the artists. Those people are overworked and all, just in general, not just the MCU.
And to me, I think that's a lazy way to attack a show.
Yeah.
It's like if you look at a trailer, you see a special effect that isn't up to your standard, is up to a Hollywood blockbuster standard. It's like if you go back and watch any kind of Star Trek Next Generation, and you're like, the effects are amazing, dude. Stop. You're lying to yourself because you have fed yourself that lie. Oh, the effects are amazing. It's like, no. First off,
it doesn't make the movie worse because the CGI is bad, even if it is bad. Like, if the story is good, the story speaks for itself. I mean, you could have the best CGI in the world, but if the story's crap and you don't care about the characters, it doesn't mean anything,
Yep. Hey, what Blingno just said, it's not about the special effects, it's about the story. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there is, because the thing is, for those of you who don't know, there's this itty bitty little movie came out in 1980 called The Empire Strikes Back. Believe it or not, Yoda is a special effect.
Right. Yeah.
He is a prop that we believe is real.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you go back and you take your 40-year-old mind, you go back and watch that, and you can, if you try hard enough, you can think that is a puppet.
Yeah.
The trick is they make you believe that it's real because of how it interacts, the amazing voice work, everything, so anyway, we're not going to harp on She-Hulk's CGI. It's going to be great. I have the utmost faith in these guys. They are not going to release a Wolverine animated claw in this thing. So moving on. Let's get out of She-Hulk, or else we're going to keep talking about
that. Yeah. So Netflix actually has some stuff coming up soon. Are you familiar with Sandman from Neil Gaiman?
Never heard of it. No, yes, I'm aware. I bet at the same time, ask me what I know about it. Nothing, but I have heard of Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Cool. So I'm gonna say I've read the book. I've listened to the audiobook. James McAvoy does the voice of Sandman, and it's a ensemble cast and everything. And there's a lot of characters from DC kind of sprinkled in there that he encounters, like John Constantine.
Oh, okay.
Some D level like Batman villains and stuff, and it's cool. I have not kept up or really seen much about the Netflix show, other than that it's coming out. So I wasn't sure if you were going to check it out or knew that it was coming out or anything like that. I definitely want to check it out. It's it's a cool story. Anything that, I mean, Neil Gaiman is a great writer. His story called American Gods also got a TV show on Stars. It only lasted 2 seasons, but the book was excellent. So I'm gonna check it out.
Blake Gnome says, I want to see more Punisher and Daredevil. Homie, I am with you 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I want my Marvel Knights. I do. I want my Marvel Knights. I want my
think we'll
Marvel
get there.
street level heroes. But to Sandman, yeah, I'll turn it on because this is what's going to happen. Let's just say I forget about it. I have a sneaking suspicion this gentleman to my right, to my right, your left, he is definitely going to say, hey, dude, go check out Sandman for this next show that we're going to do. So I will,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to tell Colby no. I think Colby was one of the guys that reached out on Facebook and said to me, hey, man, I don't know what it is about this Stranger Things show, but it's pretty good.
Really?
Now,
That's
yeah,
crazy. I
think,
mean, it's been so long, like, you know.
yeah. So anyway, me and Colby have a lot of similarities, even the stuff we like, but we like it for different reasons. So anyway, yeah. So like when Colby says, hey man, check this out, I trust his opinion usually. But all right, so yeah, Sandman. I don't know anything about it. I will watch it, and I'm not going to have to take any of the well, it's that right by the comics because I've never read the comics.
Yeah.
So I'm free of that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. The story is sort of like a collection of different little like vignettes, like a situation that he gets put into, right? And it takes place kind of over years because I mean he is the Lord of Dreams, you know. So it's actually really cool. I would definitely recommend, you know, reading it or listening to the audiobook is actually a really cool experience just because they throw some music in there and it's just it's a cool thing. I definitely want to check out the Netflix show coming up in 3 days apparently.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So another Netflix thing. Are you familiar or ever heard of Lock and Key? It's LOCKE.
Wait a minute. No.
Fair enough.
No, I'm lying again. That sounds like something I should know. I work in a damn comic book store once a week. Lock and Key sounds really, really, really familiar.
So let me give you the synopsis and see if it rings a bell. Maybe you've watched it and don't remember because it did come out a while ago and they had some COVID and all this stuff like changed some of the schedules. So I don't remember what year it came out. I think it was like 2018, season 1. Season 3 is about to come out. And it is about a family who moves to Maine to go live in their husband / dad's sort of ancestral family home, right?
Okay.
The very first scene of the show, their dad, well, you don't, a guy picks up a phone and it says like so and so is dead. So there, and then you're like, who the hell is that? And you find out like that's their dad, right?
Oh
and
no.
They go to his house in Maine, and all these crazy things start to happen. And it's not like, it's definitely not horror. And it's so hard to describe because like kids could watch it, but there are some things that go a little overboard. It's called Lock and Key because their family's last name is Locke. Okay. And these kids discover these keys all like hidden all in the house.
I think I did watch this. Like there's this thing where like there's a well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a girl trapped in a well and or a voice trapped in a well. They call it an echo or something. And apparently the adults can't hear the keys talk to them because the adults grow out of it and they no longer believe or are able to believe in the magic that the keys have. And there's tons of keys and they all do different things. And part of the story is kind of told back in the day too about how their dad kind of, you know, started making the keys and all that stuff. And it's really cool. Season 3 is about to come out on August 10th. Definitely check it out. I mean, it's a cool, like, I mean, my son is 7 years old and he is able to watch it, but it does have, there are some scenes that are a little like, you know, not scary, but just kind of like designed to be super suspenseful and
creepy
stuff. And yeah, creepy. Like there's just doors that that lead to, you know, these crazy voids that we don't know like what's there or where they come from and all this stuff. And there's some like, I would say possession, but it's more of like a I don't know if it's not like a demonic possession, but I mean like there are people in this show who get sort of taken over, you know,
Yeah.
by different forces and stuff. It's cool. I would definitely check it out. I think season 3 is going to be their last season. Not that it's getting canceled per se. It's just the typical Netflix formula where they're like, "Hey, you're getting 3 seasons. You're getting a beginning, a middle, and an end," and then the show is just ending. Like it's gonna end, like
Next.
its story will have been told, right?
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. I think you would like it. I know you mentioned you mentioned something about a well. Did you check it out in the first season or something?
I think
or?
so. I think I started watching it, and I bowed out. I think that's what happened. I think I
Gotcha.
was, yeah. Like I said, but you say 2018. It's probably been since 2018. I tried to check it out
Yeah.
because I like the only thing I remember is a little girl looking down a well and like, don't go down there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. Janina and I really like it, and we're looking forward to the last season. Some of the stuff that happens in season 2 is kind of crazy, but and I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I mean, you know, give it a look.
All right, I'll
You
go
know,
back and
it's
rewatch.
cool. Iceman is in it. The Iceman from the original. I almost said Avengers, X-Men.
X-Men. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was also Lamplight.
It's yeah. Well, see, I was gonna say I'm not actually sure which one that is because they are twins. Aaron Ashmore and the other one. There's
the
2 of
other
them,
one.
and I don't remember. What one of them. One of them is in Smallville, and I don't remember who's who. But anyway, they might as well be the same person. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
so that's August 10th. August 12th, Amazon Prime. Are you ready for this?
Nope.
A League of Their Own.
Ooh.
Is getting a TV show. So what? Before I get into that, your thoughts on the movie in the early 90s?
Went to see it in the theater. It has some, at least, maybe just one of the most quotable lines ever. There's no crying in baseball. Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball. If you think really hard, you can probably name a few more. I just remember, end quote. I love telling this story. We begged my grandmother to take us to see this movie only because me and my brother, we love going to see the movies. So she doesn't want to go see it because, if I may, this is my grandmother, anyway, who is 90 years old. She did not want us to take a movie that had that whore Madonna in it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we went and saw it. It's still great. Yeah, what was that? 94, 93?
Yeah, 90, 92, 94, something like that.
Dude, it was great. It was a nice little popcorn flick that that apparently we need a show of in 2022. I think it's gonna be great. Again, for those of you who don't know, the synopsis is us. World War II is going on. There's no professional sports really to speak of. And so they come up with this women's baseball league, not softball, a women's baseball league. And yeah, I'm sure shenanigans ensue. How about you, Colb? Are you ready for the League of Their Own?
So I was just, while you were talking, I was just going to pull up the trailer. We probably can't actually like play the audio, but I did want you to kind of like check it out. To kind of like flip through it. Let me see if I can.
I've probably seen it once in passing.
Let me see if I can do that real quick. Hold on.
Yeah,
all right.
Oh my.
All right. You got it?
Oh, I see it.
All right. So looks very similar to the train station thing where they have to kind of get on the train. That shot is like exactly, that's pulled right out of the movie. Right when they're pulling away, like it had. I mean, like just the framing of it.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So I don't know if they're doing the same characters or not. Like I have to imagine. Let me go back. I have to imagine that's Madonna and Rosie's character.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would guess.
Unless they, again, like you said, they're not pulling from the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. Um, but I mean, it looks really like interesting. Um, that scene is kind of is hard to watch. He's like, "This is the All American League, ladies." Like he's basically insinuating they're not welcome there or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously they're going to deal with that. I think that's a story that's definitely really compelling. I kind of want to see where that goes.
Yep.
This has a very like just the like the framing is not the right word for this one, but I guess filter that they're putting on this, it looks very similar to the original. Like they're definitely making it look like a similar house that they live in. They're all like having this. You can tell they're going through the same sort of issues that they did in the movie. And I guess they're adding this story to it, which I think is cool. I'm interested to see this.
Yeah. This would be badass.
Yeah. So I mean, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever watch Parks and Rec on NBC?
No.
Ron Ron Swanson, the guy that plays Ron Swanson, is the guy who I guess is playing Tom Hanks's character. So
nice. Is that Robin Shou?
No.
Who is that? Who is that lead actress?
I don't know. Hold on. Her?
No. The leak. Her Dottie.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's got to be Robin Shou.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get lost on these.
Yeah. So I think it looks cool. That's it was actually one of my favorite movies, man. Tom Hanks is so good in that movie. And I mean, me, I mean, I loved baseball growing up. I was actually very good at baseball. You and I played on a lot of teams together.
Yeah.
Our dads worked together and they sponsored the company sponsored the team. So we were on a lot of the same teams. So I'm looking forward to that. Anything you want to add before we move on to Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
The hell you say?
It's still around.
No, but yeah. I mean, like I said, if I happen to breeze by it and I don't watch it, and if it's really good, again, I'm sure I'll hear about it from a certain somebody.
Yeah. So that's August 12th on Amazon Prime, and Prime it has some really good shows. Like they don't have a huge like selection, like as far as like the total number like Netflix does, but a lot of shows on Prime are very good.
Yeah, because they're spending all their money on one of them Lord of the Rings shows. That's where all their money went.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. So after that actually is not Star Wars. It's actually the background for the video tonight. It's House of the Dragon on HBO, which if I had to pick one show, including The Rings of Power, that I am most looking forward to of all these, it's House of the Dragon.
Really?
Yeah. I know a lot of people really are still sour on the way Game of Thrones ended, and I can't really
the heck you say
argue with them. I mean, I get it. I read this book, Fire and Blood, that House of the Dragon is based on. The second half of Fire and Blood is based on this show, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. This is in the sort of heyday of the Targaryens, where there's just dozens of dragons. So have you've seen the trailer that came out like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. I've seen. I think I've seen the main trailer for this one. Good to be honest, because of the way the last one ended, I'm more excited about freaking She-Hulk right now, than I am the House of the Dragon. But again, I know I'll watch it. I know it's gonna be a hot take. You're gonna want to talk about it. People are gonna want to talk about it. But you got to remember, like, if we go into this comparing it right to the first season of Game of Thrones, I don't know what could hold up to even that first episode. that first episode, we are introduced to so much of the main cast, and everything flows. It's really smooth, and yeah, I don't think I really hope that House of the Dragon lives up to it, because I believe, and I've told Colby this before, I believe television is better when we have fantasy shows like Game of Thrones on the air. I just think it is. It's better. I still think, if you had to ask me, hey John, original trilogy of Return of the King, Return of the Jedi, I think I would sit down. I think Return of the King for me is more entertaining. The Lord of the Rings, and that might be because I know what happens in Star Wars all the time, but anyway, because I've seen it too much. But yeah, so I think the world would be better if we have a little bit of Game of Thrones in circulation. New Game of Thrones. How about you, Colby? You said you're excited. What are you looking forward to seeing in House of the Dragons?
So, before we get into that, let's do a little answers without context.
Oh, wait. I wasn't ready. I was ready for your answer to my question without context.
Too late.
I guess.
Okay, I will answer it. Don't worry. I want to talk about this show.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
It's time for AWC. Awk. No, that doesn't work. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, 10 questions. Here we go. What is the best movie in the DCEU?
I haven't seen them all. Oh God, it would be a toss up between Wonder Woman and Man of Steel. So I'm going to say Wonder Woman.
I will accept that answer.
All right.
Let's see. Number 2. Let's say you're standing in front of a make your own sundae bar. Go.
Chocolate ice cream, caramel drizzle, whipped cream. That's it.
You got everything right except for the chocolate ice cream.
Oh well.
Simple. You like simple sundaes. I'm with you on that. Number 3. What is your favorite alcoholic beverage?
It's called a gin basil smash. Or if I'm going out on the town, a Roosevelt.
No context. A Roosevelt. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Number 4. Is Y a vowel?
Sometimes.
But why?
Correct.
Yeah. Number 5. You walk into an arcade. What game are you playing first?
Is this an arcade that has every video game in there? Every arcade cabinet?
Yeah. It could be video game. It could be, pinball. It could be skee ball. Anything.
It would either be the X-Men arcade or Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay. Like it. X-Men's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6. Give me a dark horse college football playoff champion this year. So not the usual suspects, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State. Give me a dark horse.
Dark horse is going to be Texas A&M.
Ooh, okay. All right. Number 7. What is a music genre that you simply cannot stand?
You know what? I don't think there is one. I do know, because I host trivia. I have to make playlists, so I'm like bouncing all over the place for music.
You had to pick one that you like the least.
Oh my God. If I had to pick one that I liked the least, I would have to say like slow ballads, I guess, if that was a genre.
All right.
It's just like the really slow, like country. I'm singing out of my bar.
Okay. All right. You said country songs. So that was the right answer.
Country ballad.
All right. Number 8. Why are cats the worst?
Oh, because they can be. Yeah. Next question.
Number 9. Name a sequel worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Ooh. You know what? I know it's without context. I'm just going to ask you. You talking about like theater release?
A sequel.
Or it can just, oh my God. Return of Jafar. Only because I remember being disappointed. I just remember watching that because It's
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I hear
answer your
you.
question. There isn't one. That's the correct answer.
You have to
There
pick
is
one.
not one.
Yeah.
But if I have to pick one, I would say Return of the Jafar because we watched that in middle school and it was terrible. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay, that's not bad. All right, number 10. Seriously, when are you gonna play some pinball with me?
I play pinball with you for about 30 seconds every time I go to your house. I turn on the Royal Rumble machine. I flick the paddles. I watch the balls go all over the place. I
Paddles.
lose in I lose in 20
Stop.
seconds, and we start playing board games.
You're embarrassing yourself. Paddles.
I play little flappity flaps.
Flippers. Jesus Christ.
No, that's a
All
TV show with a dolphin, dumbass.
Yeah, you're right on that one. All right, so all right, that was fun. So you asked me why I am excited about House of the Dragon.
Yes, please.
All right, so
Boring.
this story is based on a book called Fire and Blood that I alluded to earlier. It is not part of the like A Song of Ice and Fire series that Game of Thrones was based on. It takes place in the same world and Westeros and all that, but it's not, about the same. It's not the same story. It is essentially a series of interviews from different people that the scholars of the realm have put together, right? Over talking about the Targaryen dynasty and different kings and queens and all this stuff of the Targaryens, and they're basically reading it to you. They essentially the character, the maester opens the Fire and Blood book and basically is reading it to you about it's essentially a history of the Targaryen. So it's very dry, right? It's not like a traditional novel. It's a history book. But there's tons of stories in there that they could have adopted. This particular story that they've chosen to adopt is called the Blacks versus the Greens, and the Blacks are the Targaryens. So they wore like black style clothing and stuff. Most of the Targaryens' colors are black and red, right? Most of the stuff they wore was black. And then the Greens are the Hightowers, and you'll find out, but very similar to Game of Thrones, there is a question of succession of the current king. Things happen and alliances are broken and families are broken. And the cool thing about this story is done. Like, it is written, right? There's no future books to come out like there are with Game of Thrones. Okay. The Game of Thrones showrunners had the first 5 books they could use as source material for their show. They sort of had to make up the last 2.5 seasons or so, right? Because they caught up to the books. That is not the case here. It's not the same showrunners. It's a different. I cannot remember his name, but I've seen interviews with him. He knows his shit with this story, and
that's promising.
It's going to be 5 seasons, and like I said, the story's done. So there's not going to be any guessing about what George would have wanted. So I really am excited to see this show. I like the cast. I want to see a bunch of dragons, man. There's like 20 something dragons in this show. And what's cool is they all have their own different personalities. You can kind of tell in the trailer, like, one of them has a really like long body and a really long neck, and it's different than Daenerys's dragons. And because they're all shaped differently, they all have different personalities and stuff. And I'm just looking forward to seeing the relationship between the dragon riders and their dragon, and
absolutely
all of the sort of political stuff that came with Game of Thrones, because this is not going to deal with any of the White Walker like supernatural stuff. This is going to be purely, throne politics and dragons.
Oh, so, you don't think they're going to bring up the wall at all?
I'm sure they will make mention of people being sent to the Watch and the Wall and stuff like that. Sure, but there's not going to be any like White Walker presence in this show.
Wildlings and stuff that lives beyond the wall.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's mostly going to take place in King's Landing. There are lots of battles that occur through different parts of Westeros, but I don't think any of the northern stuff is going to be really prevalent in this show, which I think is going to help keep it tight and all that
Now,
stuff. So.
no, I'm willing to bet that this show will end with either A, Robert Baratheon taking the throne, or the war that Robert Baratheon starts ends the show.
So
Because
this
we know what happens.
Yeah. The only way that's possible is if they do a huge time jump, like in like an epilogue, because this is like 200 years before Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I mean, then maybe
But what about you said the books have been written. When does that fifth book end? Is it still 200 years?
Okay, so like I said, this all takes place in a book called Fire and Blood, right?
Oh, okay.
And that entire book is sort of the lineage of the Targaryens all throughout Westeros. So
Okay.
Daenerys is mentioned in Fire and Blood, but the story they've chosen for House of the Dragons is just the blacks and the greens, like the sliver
okay.
of they've taken one part of Fire and Blood and made a 5-season show about it.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, which I mean, there's definitely is enough story there. There's so many people, so many names, so many places, and I'm here for it, man.
We're gonna see them all.
Yeah. So I just want to see the dragons, dude. There is one fight in Fire and Blood between two characters who are neither good nor bad. Like they have good and bad in them. Mostly bad. And it's one of the most epic things I've ever read. Just this story, and it's hard to convey really good action in a novel.
Yeah.
Right. And I cannot wait to see this. I imagine this fight will probably take place the end of season 3. If I had to guess, I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, one of us better be excited for this shit. It's costing monies.
I forgot to throw the logo up. Doesn't matter.
No one's gonna know what we were talking about.
Yeah, seriously. So that's House of the Dragon. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's crazy how much stuff is coming out in August. Yeah. And we haven't gotten to Star Wars Andor yet. By the way, we're at Star Wars Andor now. So why don't you kick us off with Andor?
Change your logo before I get started, or else nobody's gonna know what we're gonna talking about. So
Star Wars I'll throw up an Obi-Wan. That's at least Star Wars adjacent.
Oh, perfect. Star Wars adjacent. You want to talk about a franchise? I am not excited about anything coming out at all. It's Star Wars. I saw the trailer. It looks cool. Do not care. I'm like, again, they'll be like, would the people come out and say, oh, wow, this is really great. And it's not followed by day 2 or day 3. We support Moses. Like, what? Okay, so anyway, that's it. That's all I'm saying. It's just like, if this thing could go a week and I can hear people praising it, and I'm not talking about nitpicking, because whatever, dude. It's Star Wars. There's going to be a legion of people that hate it because it isn't Luke Skywalker farting. Is it Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader for 3 hours? I completely understand.
I don't know. I might take the other one.
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, it's just when I watched the trailer, it's like, oh, this was really good. This could be really good. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But I did that for Obi-Wan, and I did it for Boba Fett, and I'm over it. I'm going to say it. I'm fucking over it.
So I hear you. You're gonna watch it though, right?
Yes, I'm gonna watch it, Colby.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to make sure. Because I think that you and I are on the same page with our excitement level for Andor before we saw the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Yet another character that we already know is going to die, right? Yeah. And then I saw the trailers, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna die on this Star Wars is still good hill until
I know you will, buddy.
Until I'm dead. that makes sense.
I know.
But like, it's just, I refuse to believe that that it has fallen as low as it has, and because it's like there's still the Mandalorian, which is great for the most part. There's some little things with it, but overall it's universally loved. I'm looking forward to Andor. I cannot believe I'm saying this. And It's weird. I'll believe it sucks when I see it, but I
Yep.
also will believe it's bad. It's good when I see it. Like I like I'm. Star Wars needs to convince me that it can be consistently good, and that's I guess that's where
Yeah,
we'll leave it for Andor.
and you guys, for anybody who is curious, if you're watching us, me and Colby will decide very early on, and we will let you all know whether or
Yeah.
not we're going to watch the entire series or talk about it week to week. If we're enjoying it, it'll be a week to week thing.
Mhm.
If it's lukewarm, heck, we'll
Lukewarm.
talk
Yeah.
we'll talk about at the end of the series about the highs and the lows. And usually it's going to be like Obi-Wan, some amazing fucking highs. Too much mud, too much shit. I deal it without.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that's Star Wars for the evening. Oof.
Oh no.
All right, so let's get on to another tragedy. Uh, so I think you're more on board for Rings of Power than I am.
I am on board for the same reason I just told you. House of Dragons has got me on board. The world is better with swords and sorcery material out there. We haven't even touched on Dungeons and Dragons movie that's coming out, but we'll talk about that probably after we see it.
Yeah,
But
I haven't actually seen that trailer yet.
oh man, it's great. So Rings of Power. It is. There's so many different ways to spend however many billions of dollars to make a political statement, man. And I really don't want that in a show. And however, if everything's organic and everything flows, at the end of the day, J.R.R. Tolkien told an amazing story. He created an amazing world. It was beautiful. It was full of life. You could read it in the pages. When you're going through, for spoiler alert, if you go get a regular size paperback of the Fellowship of the Ring, it takes you 122 pages to get out of the fucking Shire.
Get out of the Shire. It's
So
like, dude, pack your bags.
that is like it's over 100 pages. But in that 100 and something pages, he's talking about the grass. He's talking about paths. He's
Food.
talking about food. He is talking about everything. All right. He put so much love and effort into that story that we all know and love. And so I think if you take anything away from Tolkien, he just wanted to tell a great story, and he did. As long as this is a great story and not and by the way, look what we can do with $1 billion, and you've got to watch it now because if you don't, you're a sexist or a racist or whatever
Yeah.
fucking plug I'm going to get. You know, this is really, really, it's scary. It's scary for me. I'm like, man, what if me and Cole would show up week one and are like, so how about that Rings of Power? Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, that scares the shit because I want to, man. I want this.
I want the show to be like excellent. Like I want it to be the next Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Where every like it's an event. Remember when Game of Thrones came out? Sunday night. Like
Yep.
people were like, the whole country would like just stop for
It's like, no,
we're
not doing anything. Anybody would ask us, it's just like, hey, you want to go over and watch, Game of Thrones. That was like a thing people would do.
Game of Thrones was doing
parties.
watch parties before YouTube reactions were popular,
But this again, it has the potential, man. It has the fan base, and I am not going to be sitting there. Here's the thing, dude. You can make because I know I'm not making this shit up. You can make a hot button like elves that aren't fair skin. I'm just going to say you can have African American or black elves. I'm not going to knock that. But as soon as you put it in my face that they are somehow downtrodden or something because of this color of their skin, there is none of that ever in JRR's work at all.
Yeah, and it does kind of scare me that like most of the time that we see, Arondir, who's the elf you're talking about, most of the time we see him, he's like held captive, and it's like, really,
Anyway,
so
maybe he's a thief or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a bad elf. Who knows, man? So anyway, God, I am going to watch this show. This is
I
one
just
like
want the story to be good.
exactly. If you put if you put everything up on there, and it's just like you say, "Hey, John, you got to pick one." It'd be Rings of Power. You pick one show on this list of everything that's come out in the next 2 months. What do you want to see? I mean, I'd pick Rings of Power because it is alluring. It is alluring to see like how much freaking however many billions of dollars this show is costing. Where and how did that money get spent?
Hmm.
You know, what are you going to give me, Amazon? You have got more money than God. It's just, and this is the big one. You know, this is like they're taking a gamble. I mean, dude, everything looks great. Oh God. Anyway, so here we could go on and on about how excited I am, how much I want to see this. But you want to talk about like this? This has the potential to be the biggest disappointment I've ever cared to mention.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I pulled up you can kind of just see it in the background there. You know,
Yeah.
the like the orcs and stuff I think look great.
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff like, different landscapes and stuff look really
Oh,
good. Um, I'm just worried. Like I don't want the message to outweigh the story. I don't know that there is a message yet. I haven't seen the damn
nope.
thing. All I know is that, you know, there was definitely some choices made on Amazon's part for casting and for story changes. And ultimately, if there's one thing that dooms this show, I think it's going to be the fact that they chose to condense, 3,000 years worth of the Second Age into a single timeline. That may end up being the thing that
Yeah.
the Tolkien purists just can't get over, you know, because there are characters in this show that did not live at the same time. Like they just didn't.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
Yep.
This is the one I'm most nervous about. Like I'm most excited about She-Hulk and House of the Dragon. I'm kind of on the fence with Andor. I'll believe it's good when I see it. I Am Groot, I'm sure is going to be fine and just like forgettable ultimately. But I really want to check out A League of Their Own. But the Rings of Power is the one I'm the most nervous about because it has the chance to be really, really good.
Yep.
But it also has a chance to, just destroy Tolkien's legacy. So we'll see. So yeah, that's what we got for that. But there is one more thing coming out that I just found out about that I didn't know was even a thing. So let me just get rid of this theme stuff. So you heard about this show Cobra Kai?
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
I must have a really warped sense of time because I feel like season 4 just ended.
Okay.
Season 5 is coming out September 9th.
Okay.
I don't. I must be out of my mind because I feel like it just ended.
I don't think I've watched anything past Cobra Kai season 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say you weren't really watching it, right?
Nah.
Yeah, it's it's another one of those shows that like shouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's a stupid premise based on a stupid movie, but it just works, man. It's crazy
Yeah.
how good it is.
The
Yeah.
first season was amazing. That's all I can really, talk about. Maybe I saw season 2. Or was it just season 1? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I know at the end of season 1 is when Daniel's daughter does like a flip or some shit in the dojo, and that was it. That was the very end of the season.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what happened in the end. Oh no, season 2 is we got or did that happen in season 1 where we got Johnny's son?
They all run together. Johnny's son is in he's in all of it.
Oh, then never mind. Yeah,
yeah.
I can just talk about first season.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I know, like you said, you haven't watched much of it, but it's a funny show. It's just good. I don't know. I love it. It's kind of a guilty pleasure show for me. Anything you want to add before we end it?
Yes, you could bet your buttons, sir, that next week we will be talking about the new movie coming out on Hulu, Prey.
Oh,
The new Predator movie. I am really excited about it. It's getting a lot of good buzz. Some people are saying it's better than the original or at least as good as the
What?
original. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been watching it. Or
Wow.
I've been keeping my ears to the ground, listening about this thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be one of those guys who's like, oh, that's a load of malarkey, or it's going to be really good.
I just want it to be believable that a tribe of Comanches, I believe is what they are in this movie.
Yeah.
I want it to be believable that they could, stand up to the Predator when, Dutch
I
and,
think so.
Dylan and those guys, had trouble. But I forgot this was already coming out so soon. I really want to check out this movie, man.
It comes out
Predator is one of those things that
Friday
like
or Thursday.
yeah, I'm not sure. Predator is one of those things for me that is so hit or miss. Like when it's bad, it's bad. But when it's good, dude, it's so we'll see.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for hanging with us this long, guys. We really appreciate it. If you would, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. We're trying to, do some more videos and stuff. I'm probably gonna be getting a new pinball machine. I don't know if I'm gonna be. I have no idea what the state of it is. So I may be restoring it. Maybe I'll do some videos on that. I don't know. John, anything else?
In the coming weeks, get ready. Me and Colby are going to be talking some freaking football.
Yeah,
Right
absolutely. Can't wait for that. So, all right, man. Before we go, I just want to show you one more thing. Never forget that someone thought this was okay.
Why do you do this?
This made it through the cutting room floor, ladies and gentlemen.
Open-handed slippery.
Yuck. Like this is the worst.
Oh my god.
So anyway, yeah, I think that's where we'll I think that's where we'll
why aren't you excited about Andor, John?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude. The Will Smith meme where he's like this, that's basically it. Like, why aren't you excited about Andor? Yeah. So anyway, guys, leave us a comment, let us know what your thoughts are on these upcoming shows. As always, fan out.
Fan out, guys. Thank y'all so much.
See you guys later.